Peace and blessings and lots of love to everyone. I have been doing YouTube videos since I found out the year YouTube came out, but I took years breaks because it was really taxing. I used to get hundreds of messages in my inbox on Facebook daily, and they were really serious about people wanting really traumatic stuff, and it was just overwhelming, and I didn't have really the time management skills to be able to do that at the time. So some of my friends are like, newbie, you need to start doing these videos again, because I guess the advice or opinion that I have that helps them and many others, they were like, yes girl, back to your videos. So I'm going to start doing to be more consistent with these videos. I'm happy that even a lot of people that are doing YouTube videos now that I've helped to motivate and inspire that is a beautiful, and you guys inspired me. So today's subject is about, because I've had this conversation with different of my girlfriends at different times, and it's about when people say, oh, he's thirsty. Or 2 seconds before I get into that, I wanted to say what inspired me is start doing YouTube videos. I created a Facebook page just like everyone else a very long time ago when Facebook came out, okay? And I was just posting my different thoughts, I would pray about a lot of different things, meditate on a lot of different things. And I was like, you know what? If the Most High answered this question for me, maybe other people have the question too, because no man is an island. And I was like, well, how can I get the message out? Create a YouTube video. And I'm so happy that it's touched so many of you. You run up to me in the streets of New York, everywhere, Louisiana, just all over the world. And it's beautiful. So obviously I'm meant to do this. So let me do it. Now let's get into this whole thirsty subject. Hunty. Sips tea. Okay. So how do I even start this off? A lot of my girls, beautiful women, powerful women, boss women, but yet crave to be submissive to the right one, the right spouse, whether they are gay, straight, lesbian, pansexual, whatever. All of my girls have this, all my goddesses have this issue. So a lot of times, like, guys are like, oh, I don't want to look thirsty. So let me not do even from the smallest things to just saying, hey, yo, I got you on this. Or, hey, like really being there to know what a woman needs before her even having to ask. Now, they, of course, definitely ask, but yet also be a great listener so that you can really see what type of woman she is. And if she's a good woman, which most of them are, she will be well deserving and she will make you feel like a king in return. Don't be afraid of being thirsty. You're supposed to go after the woman that you want. So let's talk about it. Even like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even like 90s R&B, guys would do whatever. They would carry the books. They would go and be scared to knock on the door to ask if the woman could come out. They would make all these love songs, sing outside her window, all these things. Now, there are some women that, have not appreciated those things of you really showing that you're consistently there. The good girls are like the bad boys thing. Yet and still, those are the women that just don't know their self-worth yet because they feel like they have to chase after this guy who treats her like crap to feel like validated because, oh, wow, all these guys want me. Why doesn't he? That's an issue. Those women, just because that may be your experience with one of these women, doesn't mean you should stop being that classic man, that gentleman, that king. And then a lot of times it's important to get out of your own head because you do not want your mind to make a mockery of you and have you convinced that, oh, well, maybe she's into this guy. Maybe she's not really that into me. Maybe he's not really that into me and all of these things. You will psych yourself out. You just put your best foot forward and be very transparent in exactly how you feel. You know what I mean? As far as like, I'm really into you, and be very grateful and appreciative and be verbal with that. Like, I really love when you did this for me. This really made me feel so special. Wow. Of course, truly mean it, and then you'll get more of that. And that's even if you're in relationships. If you want more of the goodness of that person, I mean, you saw back in the day, or even just right now, you celebrate the great things instead of fussing so much about the things that you don't like. Because if you focus on what you don't like, you'll get more of that. And that's with anything. That's a manifesting key. Rule number one. So yes, don't assume that woman is already wrapped up. That woman, start doubting yourself. Oh, well, she can get this person, that person, or what if she's not accepting of this when she sees this about myself? That is lack of self-love, darling. You need to know that God made you with your own fingerprint special, and you're going to have that person that's for you anyway. So you put your best foot forward at all times, not just sometimes. And you make that move, and if this person is not the one for you and they reject you, then that's only because they're not the one for you, and the one that's going to really appreciate you is going to come along. But you don't want to change the way that you normally are, because when that right one will come along, you'll be like so bitter over that last one and how she did you. when that's a totally different woman, that you may miss out on the love of your life. So let's put this thirsty thing to rest, okay? Done it. Dead it. Lastly, I will say you should not feel threatened by anyone. I could be so crazy in love with a spouse and still won't feel any type of way if they look at another woman, because honey, that woman could be a rose. That woman could be a sunflower. That woman could be a lotus flower. Any type, they're all beautiful. And who would want a spouse that doesn't uphold, praise, and celebrate the next woman? Period. Like, I don't know. Like, that's crazy. I have a friend who is a really dope painter and paints all these beautiful women. And in the past may have experienced like a spouse being like, well, why you paint all these beautiful women? Like, what's up with this? Like, am I not enough? Blah, blah, blah. Insecurities. So put your insecurities to bed. And as long as you're putting your best foot forward and working at you and loving you every day and focus on all the beautiful things about you as you work on the things that you would like to change, you're going to attract people who love you because you know how to love you. There's one more thing I wanted to add. I have been in all different types of relationships, monogamous relationships, polygamous relationships, and was able to not have a jealous bone in my body, because as long as I knew that my spouse loved and worshiped me, and appreciated me, and I felt it every day, there's love. It's love. There needs to be a lot of love going around. And I want my sisters to experience love, not just somebody saying it, but showing it in every single action. The type of guy that helps you build a business, not just passes you bread. Okay? Passes you bread as well, but it's also there working on his or herself to make sure that y'all are making it happen. So it just all comes from just really loving yourself, to be able to love others, to want them to be happy. And also, again, back to the thirsty thing, just embrace that when you have somebody that's showing you that love. And don't be afraid to give it so you don't miss out. All right. Now I'm done. Later.